Start streaming. Okay. Alright, hello and welcome back to another episode of Shadowrun, Walk with Me in Hell. This is the third session, covering days 5 to wherever we stop. Yes, and so basically the players... It's been a while, it's been literally, I think, like a month and a bit since we last played. But yeah, basically the players have got their... supplies from the HQ, or what's left of it anyway, and now they just have to head back to the outpost and going to hand in the supplies. And yeah, so will just be their journey back, basically. Alright, so yeah, you've all got ready at dusk, and you're about to head out from the railroad HQ. You have the ammo and general supplies. Apparently, oh yeah. So you have actually a vehicle. So you have a bulldog truck. I think it's actually more of a ute. So who can actually drive?
Nami?
I could drive.
You can drive. All right. So
Yeah, so can I.
awesome. Okay. So
I can even own a pickup truck. Well, I don't know why.
okay. But you don't have a pickup truck at the moment. You have a bulldog.
I know.
So, does somebody want to add that to their inventory?
Like, who's gonna put it in the story?
Yeah. Well, for now,
Okay, it's a glorified delivery truck.
yeah, you gotta get a bulldog. You have it has an inbuilt freezer in it, and have 2 weeks of supplies for food and blood.
Yay, blood.
You'll love me some blood.
Yeah, some of you do need that.
I need life, people.
You do, but not yet. You're fine for until you get back, because I have actually timed this to last exactly a week, so you'll be losing your one essence at the end of this session, which is nice. Apart from Kit.
Alright guys, we need to find some victims.
Yeah. Alright, so do you guys want to do some RP here about you guys getting your truck and so on?
Sure.
Legitimate question. Do I fit?
Yes. You take up two. It's like a proper it's more like a military. It's quite a big vehicle. It's more like a pseudo. Well, not really military vehicle, but it's big enough. They've accommodated.
Like an RV, but like half an RV.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's good.
Okay.
It's a good solid.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Alright, so you pack everything on, you get ready to go.
Who's driving, sorry?
Kit's driving. Yeah, I can't even remember his name. Where's his name? Hang on, I've got to look for his name now.
Woodsy.
No, it's the guy who's saying goodbye to you. I can't find his name on this. Oh my god, so much work writing. I found where we're meant to be, but I don't know his name. But whatever the guy's name was, who was the leader of the HQ, he's Frank. There we go. Found his name, Frank Muller. He basically just comes up to you. He's like, "Well, feeling much better now. That's all we needed. Thanks for the help. Could you pass this over to Sarah?" And he just hands you basically a USB thing, a USB stick. Who's going to take it?
I'll reach my hand out and grab it.
Cool.
Thank you very much, kind sir. And I just put them in my pockets.
Awesome.
Who am I giving that to?
Sarah.
Awesome. Give USB to Sarah. I'm trying to take notes.
Yeah. Yes, we thank you a lot for that. Well, we hope you get back safely. The vehicle should make the journey much quicker. Do be careful of... you guys told me that you guys went past the what did I name it? God, this is the problem when you take such long breaks. The Skyhold. The Skyhold. Yeah, I'd probably avoid going that way. When you get to the part where they've sort of blocked out everything, you should be a right turn. If you just go down there, you should be able to basically go down a road parallel to that road without actually them seeing you. Hopefully that does make things a little easier, as well they probably will. You managed to bullshit your way past last time, but this time I don't know if you'd be that lucky, given the fact that this vehicle kind of does have our logo plastered on it. So
Over to Kit. Driver, could you get those instructions down?
I have a question.
Yes.
If we're trying super key, why do we have our logo inside of the vehicle?
Sorry, what was that? You were cutting in and out.
If we're trying to keep, why exactly have our logo on the side of them?
Because you gotta represent, man.
It's also a recruitment van.
It is actually. So
It's a recruitment.
it's so they don't get shot on by their own guys, basically. Yeah, it's so our own guys won't shoot on us when a vehicle comes flying up. You know, some of.
Well, if we're like coming in hot, they know we're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. And also, we do have like allies out here, and well, enemies as well, but it's more so for the ally side, because you know a lot of people are very jumpy out here. Can't really blame them though.
Very well.
Excellent. Okay, cool. So yeah, you make your way out. Yeah. So basically, since you're on a vehicle this time, there's no real point in talking about the walking order and so on. Yeah, because you're all sort of in a vehicle.
I'm just seated in the back, taking up like 3 seats.
Yeah, basically.
I call shotgun.
Okay.
Do you even know what shotgun is? I'm from like the 1930s or something.
He has a shotgun.
I'll allow it.
I have been alive like the last century. That might have been, but
Right, Marcus, you are very choppy. So if you can try, like, I don't know why. Sorry. Yeah, what's this?
Sorry, I had to increase my sensitivity.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Okay, cool.
Is that better?
Yeah, it is better now.
Cool. Thanks.
It is. All right, so we have Kit and Marcus. So that's Woodsy and Vincent at the front. Then we have, who's at the back? Cooler and Keldor at the back. And Keldor's probably weighing down the vehicle a little bit. Yeah. So as you traveling along, Kit, how fast are you going to go? Are you going to go slow and steady, or are you just going to black as fast as you can?
I'll go as fast as I can.
Fast as you can. Okay. Sweet ass. Yeah. So you basically start going back the same way you were getting there. Well, you got there. You make a decent amount of time. You get to the turnoff that was pointed out to you rather easily. And does everybody want to give me a perception test?
What?
Yeah, perception.
Oh, perception.
Perception. The look.
Said this, I was like, what?
Yeah, you
The
gotta.
looking skill.
Yeah, perception. The paying attention to what's happening around you skill.
Now this is you turn on, not on exploding, but you put target number 5.
Yes.
Go D6s 10. There you go.
It's a lot of success.
4 successes. It's the other way around.
Yes. Okay. That's definitely not that. Would say you're rolling d20s.
Yeah.
So everyone's doing well.
Oh, there you go.
What? That's not 7 successes.
Yeah, that's the opposite. I only got
2, 3. You got 3. The fuck? 4. You're 4. Why did they 7?
Because it's got his sign the wrong way around.
But even then, that wouldn't add up to 7.
Because it's 5 and below.
Ah, yeah, that'd be why. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's 4.
How do you have 7?
He didn't. Here's 4.
Yeah, 4.
So 4, 5, 4, 4. So Marcus, you as you are spinning around, you notice sort of along the skies and sort of upper areas, I guess. You sort of start to notice, I guess, flashing. It's sort of like rather ominous. It's not like just like a blast. It's sort of like waves of light just zooming past quickly. Sort of like something's sort of there but not there.
Oh, that's interesting. Any of you guys seen that?
I want to look on the astral plane.
Yeah, good idea. So yeah, as soon as you start actually perceiving, you notice that these spirits flying above you.
Got a lot of spirits carrying around here.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I slowed down a bit and I still so it's the plan, guys. It's random.
I'll actually perceive as well and take a look around. Do you want me to do a sensing?
Yes. And so the astral perceivers both coming in the sensing test.
There we go. 2.
Give me a second, I'm going to put something on.
Why are you in the kitchen? We're playing a game, bro.
Water.
Hydration is important.
My voice is quite raspy. I need water to be able to do it.
Okay. Da, 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 da.
Sensing. Here we go.
Yeah. 2 buddies.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
So
wait, you got 3.
you both can count around 4 spirits. It seems to be basically 1 spirit for each of the elements. And they, as you're watching, you seem to notice that they're actually circling around you.
Do they look hostile?
Not yet. No, they're just currently just sort of circling around, but they're not. They're sort of.
Common knowledge question: could I interact with them?
Since yes, you could. You're quite far away, though. They're probably not close enough for you to interact with it at the moment. However, one of you can actually astrally project.
Nudge, nudge, nudge.
Is that me?
Yes, it is.
Ooh, exciting.
Okay. I say, let's just keep going. I'll see if I can talk to them. And then I start actually projecting.
Awesome. Sweet. So where the hell is my chum gone? My chum has disappeared. There it is. I found it. Okay, cool. So yeah, you go up. So you'll just see his sort of body go limp. So yes, you're now on the astral plane. And now it's somewhat similar to the real plane. But it's more like a echo or a reflection.
I'm really upside down.
Kind of.
Sorry, being interrupted.
Yeah, fair enough. It's kind of, but more like the opposite. As in, everything actually looks much nicer here. Given the fact that this area only sort of went to hell recently, the echoes still sort of remember when it was a much nicer place to live in and wasn't filled with ruins and infested people and gangsters and everything else which isn't nice.
I think, wow, we live in a shithole.
Yeah, so it's quite nice. And you can see the spirits flying around. Here they are much more defined. You can clearly see, the spirit of fire is just sort of like it looks kind of like a fiery bird without wings, if you can picture that. It's just like the head and the body flying around without wings.
Like a phoenix.
Kind of, but it has no wings.
A wingless phoenix.
Yes.
Might as well just grow its wings back.
Then, for the spirit of water is sort of odd. It looks kind of like a frog, but it has fins. And then there's the spirit of earth, which is literally just a sort of series of rocks that are just sort of floating around each other. And then the spirit of earth it's sort of just like it just looks like a you can't actually sort of see anything. You sort of just see like a swirl. It's more abstract than sort of representational. It's quite odd.
Uh-huh.
It's a spirit, so as they do.
Oh, yeah. I'm sort of gonna go. Oh, great spirits! What can we do for you?
Just
Your voice. Sod off, yeah?
Yeah.
Off, you've got a little wanker.
Do you sort of just the spirit of air sort of starts humming, and you sort of can't figure it. You're sort of like saying like, huh? And can you give me what's the insight in this? I think it is just called insight. Hang on. There is a roll for it. Da da da. The one for knowing what someone wants. It's insight, isn't it?
Yes.
There is an insight, is there? Yes.
No, there isn't.
There isn't. What is it called? I think you just roll the same thing they're doing. There must be something for. I'll let you do an assenting roll to figure it out since it's a spirit.
Already.
Figure out what it wants.
It wants one thing. Kill.
Yeah, so the impression you're just sort of like you can't tell if it is upset by something or if it's nervous. It's either upset or nervous. You're not quite sure.
Okay. Either way, that's not good for me. I ask. There's something upsets you, great spirits.
So then they all sort of hum. They're like, and then they stop and they're like, and and then they keep on doing that same sort of pattern of humming. But you can't quite figure it out. It's still quite either nervous or upset. Do you want to give me another assenting to see if you do better this time?
Yes, I do.
Don't much better. It's the same. Either way, it's probably not that great, and you either want to make your way out of here or you either don't. You're not quite sure.
Okay. What can I do? I'll say, is there something that you're trying to warn us of? And then I'll make another sensing roll.
Yeah, okay. So as soon as you say that, they sort of all stop humming, and the fire one sort of starts. It flashes twice really quickly, and then once long.
Okay, Morse code.
I think that's right. Hang on. No, I don't want that one. It is Morse code. Hang on, it's Morse code, but I want the binary. And I gotta make sure it's right. I think this is. I think I did that wrong, actually. I should be able to. Here we go.
Because I have knowledge in combat tactics, could Morse code come under that?
Yes.
Sweet.
Okay, so it's
So,
sorry. It flashes long, short flash, 2 long flash, short flash, and then 3 short flashes.
Okay, so that was one long.
So long, short, 2 long, short, 3 shorts.
This is Morse code.
It is. I don't know where I got the other one from. I don't know. I think it deleted like half of it.
Sorry, one more time. Let me actually write this down.
So long, short, 2 long,
Long, short, too long.
short, and then 3 shorts.
Short.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to roll combat tactics to understand the Morse code.
Yep. You do know it is more. You do figure out quite quickly. Yes, it is Morse code. You think it's maybe an affirmation, so they may be saying yes.
Okay. Sweet. So I say, what is it you're trying to warn us of?
Yeah. So as you're doing so, do you want to give me another assenting quickly before you?
Yes, I do.
Jesus. Well, you're consistent.
At least you're consistent.
Yeah. You notice that they're starting to sort of fall back a bit. This is something, you know,
Okay.
they're sort of wanting to leave.
Okay. While I'm actually projecting, can I communicate with the others?
You can.
I can see him, can't I?
You can see him. Yes, if you're still perceiving, you can see him. He is quite far above you, so he will help. You obviously you'll have to fly down and see them.
Okay. So I'm going to assume that we need to follow them. Because if they're moving away quite worriedly, then they're going to try and find somewhere safe, so following them would be a good bet. So I'm going to fly down, and I'm going to tell Kuldar we need to follow those spirits.
Alright.
What have I missed? Sorry.
We're about to follow some spirits apparently. Which,
Okay. So so Kit, how are you going to? Is Woodsy? Well, does Kaldor tell everyone else?
Yes, I relay that to Kit. I go, Woodsy, he thinks that we should follow the spirits.
wait. So we're going to the base. Hold on. Wait.
The spirits apparently are nervous. They don't want us here. But they're not hostile either.
So like,
At this point in time, the gang realizes they've come across another exciting conundrum.
are you like pull over? Like stop.
Okay. Yeah. You.
And then I asked them, are they still on us?
I looked at Peter and I looked to see where the spirits are. Are they with us?
So they're not currently with you. You sort of stopped ahead, and you can see they're sort of back a bit.
Are they coming towards us?
No, they're just hovering behind, sort of backwards a bit.
If Kula is right, we can't go this way. The spirits are telling us not to. I would trust the spirits. The snake have never led me astray, nor has my shark. We should continue with following the spirits.
Alright, how about this? We need a map of the place.
Question, does he tell me about the Morse code?
Do you?
No. I don't tell them we're communicating in Morse code.
Okay.
Like, can you ask them, is the problem on the base or is it around the base? That seems to be like, because we still need to deliver this.
Well, are we heading direct or are we heading kind of sideways tangent?
Yeah,
Like,
So you've turned off. You've turned off. You've started going along the way, so you're parallel to where the humans were last time, and not on the same street. And you sort of continue along there. So you're roughly. So last time you remember how you guys got to the intersection where the blood mages were. So you'll sort of be approaching an intersection next to that one. Like a parallel intersection. So
are they avoiding our destination?
Yeah, that seems to be. Well, they seem to be avoiding where you're currently going.
Tell that to me.
Do you tell that to Woodsy?
I relay all relevant information.
Okay.
So how about this? We drive around to see if it's like directly towards the base or if it's like somewhere close to the base. Like, so we're not driving to the base, but like just drive around to see how the spirits react to it.
Okay, so you're going to keep on driving. You're going to just keep on driving, basically.
Yeah, but like aimlessly, sort of.
Well, at the moment, you can only pretty much go forward.
Okay.
It's because you're on a straight road. And you do know ahead there's a three-way intersection with one way that just sort of will go past the base and one way will be to get to the intersection so you can actually get to the base. So, you guys got to deliberate amongst yourselves on are you going to keep on going the same route you are or go back?
I don't know about you guys, but these lights are fantastic.
I'm going to.
I trust the spirits. I think we should not continue this way.
Ooh, pretty lights.
Okay.
I'm going to actively tell them follow the spirits. They don't want us. Like there's something bad here. They're warning us of something. Follow them.
What if they're just trying to get away from us?
They wouldn't have conversed with me if they were trying to get it. Sorry, I'm not carrying the hold on. They wouldn't have conversed with me if they were afraid of us.
I don't know, man. Scandal my dad. Nothing to him.
Let me put it this way. I know spirits. You don't.
Oh, we haven't been a authority now, are we?
So is that a 3-1?
I believe so.
Yeah, so I'm guessing...
I'm not driving the vehicle.
Yeah, you're not driving the vehicle, so you can't actually force everyone to make your decision. So I'm guessing Woodsy's going to turn around and start following with the spirits.
Now, everyone, let's ask ourselves a very important question. How excited is Liam about that statement?
Very. I love it.
But he does not want to back down in his job.
Okay, so you're going back and you're following spirits. So the spirits basically take you back to where you're going. They take you to the turn off you weren't meant to go, and then they just keep on going. So if this was, you're going the way from when you originally went right, now you're just going, which would have been left instead of forward. So this is, so you're going up and you're following, and they sort of lead you to quite close to where the humans were, but they sort of stop above a park, and they just still spinning around really, really quickly around this park.
Alright, I guess I try to pull over at some safe-looking spot.
Well, go on then, Mr. Whisperer. Go talk to the ghost.
Yep. Do you guys do the two assenters want to give me an assenting test?
I feel I can do that.
I feel I can get a 1.
I have a question.
Yep.
Oh, 2! It's my lucky day!
Yeah. What's your question, Kit?
Are there any buildings where someone could take an vantage point?
There's no there's no tall buildings around here. They all seem to be sort of only 1 or 2 stories high. Most of them are quite ruined. So there's no tower. The closest tower would be literally where the humans were, the Skywatch, which anybody, if they did decide to pull out a sniper rifle, they would be able to see you. It would be a difficult shot for them though. And that being said, this would be quite a convoluted plan just to shoot you.
No, just in case there's I don't know, someone else might be watching this kind of thing.
Well, they very well could be. Assenting test. You guys can see there's a spirit of man sort of under the park.
Under it?
Under it. It's under the earth.
What, laying prone? Buried?
No, it's moving. It's moving underneath the park.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, sorry, was there a spirit that's in the park?
Yeah, there's another spirit which is under the park.
Good thing I bought a shovel.
I'm going to look around for any entrance, like a manhole or something.
Yep. So you guys pull up. These are literally a parking lot within the park. So you literally can just get there, get out, and yeah, as you're walking along, you guys can see the spirit of man, and it's moving in sort of straight lines. Sort of seems to be moving in sort of like a figure 8 on a digital clock. So it's moving around a circle, and then moves around a circle again, and it's sort of just figure of 8ing. So, do you guys how do you want to do your search? Do you just want to walk along the entirety of the park, or just where the spirit is?
Are we being stealthy, guys?
That's another question. Yeah, how stealthy are you guys being?
Well, we can hear a high rate of knots, so I imagine we're probably still anybody who's here knows they're here.
Fair enough. So,
remember, I'm 3 meters tall and bioluminescent. I glow in the dark. I'm not stealthy.
yeah.
If we're being stealthy, I'm staying in the car. And then someone can tell me once you've found the entrance.
So what are you telling us? That 4 guys in a van have turned up to follow some ghosts.
Basically, yeah.
Are we? So who's Scooby-Doo?
That would be Woodsy, wouldn't it?
Yeah. First I bring the shovel down, and also, oh man, I'm like the bloody dog.
Yep.
So we're not being stealthy then.
Apparently not.
Alright, I exit the vehicle and I help look.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you guys are walking along the park. You notice there is a couple of manholes. And do you guys all want to give me a perception test as well? We'll do that. Oh, very good. Oh, shit. I think Caldor might find it. Yeah, Caldor definitely the one who's found it. In 5 minutes, you're just walking along the park, you get to sort of a central small plaza thing, and you sort of turn and you're you notice these sort of a small kiosk building which seems somewhat out of place because it looks like it's being maintained, but nothing else looks like it's being maintained.
Okay, is anyone manning the desk?
You walk up and no, it just seems sort of like it's clean. There's nothing in there, so it's like being emptied out. It's clean, but as you like look into the kiosk, you notice there's a trapdoor on the ground.
What have you found, lad?
Found the entrance.
Entrance to what?
Down. I pick up the kiosk and move it, or is it like?
It's like a small building. It's like a building kiosk,
okay.
Yeah.
It's not like a info kiosk.
Yeah, it's not like an info kiosk. It's like a permanent sort of thing.
Okay, yeah. I just kind of move stuff around to make the entrance clear, and then open it up and head down.
Sweet. Yeah, as you open it up, you pick up the big trapdoor, and it's has a stairway leading down. And it seems to be made out of. As you look at it, you can actually tell it's quite like. It's not like just like it's not like it's just like metal stairs or something. It's like proper like marble stairs going downwards. It's like fancy as fuck. And there's like actual like leaf work on the walls going down, made out of gold.
Wow. Guys, get out your pictures.
Oh look, shinies. Keep the dog away, he might grab something.
Those are bling. Oh man.
All right, so are you gonna? So what's everyone doing now? You're just gonna go down, or?
No, I'm drawing.
I'll go first and kind of just slowly look around, inspect corners and stuff. Just be cautious.
So
Like, I do last like before I go down, I do like I try to like do one last check on the van.
Okay, yeah, you go back, you check on the van, it's still there.
It, right?
The van is still currently there. And this.
Did you lock the van?
Yes, I locked the van.
Yeah.
The cage is still in the ignition.
Drives away the van.
Yeah, it's all an elaborate. It's all an elaborate trap to steal your van. Okay, yeah. So you're going down these marble steps. What's the walking order? So Kaldor's first. Who's?
No, I also leave a tag on my van. Like,
Oh, you're gonna put a security tag. Good idea. Well, what type of tag is it? Security, RFID, or stealth?
what do I have on me? Let's see. Where's the gear? Extra gear. I only have. Okay, I got a tag already, so that's not it.
Tag raises for destroying the tags.
Yeah, where I bought some.
Does anyone else have tags?
Yeah.
He wants to tag.
Yeah.
Nah. Okay.
Okay, I guess I didn't bring a tag.
So yep, you don't have tags. You have a tag remover, but not a tag. Oh well.
Yeah, it's kind of.
So walking order. Kaldor's first. Who's behind Kaldor?
I'll go next. With shotgun drawn.
Yeah.
I have a combination block.
I'll go last.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
A quick question: Who was in the session? Who was in the first session I did with the two people?
It
was me and Kit and it was me and Marcus.
Okay.
And Kit and
Okay. Yeah.
We were in the second half.
You're in the second half. Okay. Good. So sweet as. Okay. That's just. I need to know that. So it's Kaldor first. Who's behind Kaldor? Vincent. And then I guess it would be Woodsy and then Cooler at the back. Would that be correct? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So as you start walking through, and as you're walking through, you get down. You start walking down the stairs. A light just appears above you, and it's all spotlight.
me.
Yep, above you, above like the whole group. There's just a light that's following you as you walk down the hallway.
I actually perceive and look at it.
Yes, there definitely seems to be magical. This place is warded out the wazoo.
Damn it, guys! How do you guys not know that?
Because you didn't.
I turn to the group. I think we stepped over a magical tripwire. Or at least a doorbell. and then I keep walking inside.
Yeah. So yeah, as you're walking through, so the ground is all a sort of a tile. What's it tile? Was it where it's like mosaic, and it's just spreading out, and it sort of is like the Arabic sort of flower work. It's like that, and that's all along the floor. The walls are marble with gold leaf work along it. There is no visible ceiling lights, but as you know, there's a light above you now, so it's probably not necessary. And yeah, as you continue along, you get to a door. This door is a large, solid black door with just black leaf work, which is much of the same style as all the leaf work that's in gold, but this is just a solid black slump. Or slab, I guess.
And so it's just a big old door. So I kind of just knock on it. Not like a bang, 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 open up, like a tap, tap, hello, anyone home?
Yeah, so you start tapping on it, and this door is like solid as fuck, because you know how like normally doors where they have some sort of bounce. This has no bounce. This is just like you're hitting a wall. Yeah.
Okay. I open fist, make the fist shape, and then go smash on the door.
Yeah. Okay.
Lightly.
So you smash a door lightly. Okay.
So more of a thumping sound than a knock.
Yeah.
But not trying to break it.
Yeah. So you're sort of banging on it. And it's like hitting a wall. There's a slight give, and then eventually the door sort of, you hear like a click of like a lock, and then you hear like numerous like gears and whistles making noises, and then the door opens up. And
it's a little tiny side door at the bottom that's about a foot tall.
No, the doors open up, and it's continues down a hallway. There's no visible doorman. Is Kaldor or Kula actually astral perceiving at the moment?
I'm actually perceiving the entire time ever since I saw the light.
Okay, so you're say astral perceiving. Yeah, there's actually a spirit of man who opened the door for you and then sunk through the ground.
As he sinks to the ground, I kind of nod like my thanks to him.
Yeah. And yeah, so then you continue down, and eventually you can see a light at the end of the corridor. It's sort of just like a warm light.
Keep on going.
Yeah, so you keep on going. Yeah, and you basically exit out, and you're in what appears to be just a massive library.
Oh, yes.
It's a huge library. Like, you look down one side, you can't see the end. You look down the other way, you can't see the end. You look downwards, because you're actually on, like, a balcony, and it's just books. Just, like, a massive, like, there's probably, like, 20 meters tall till you hit the ground, and then there's just massive, like, ladders going up, and, like, little walkways, little intervals along the massive bookshelves. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yo, Woodrum, what? And is there any spirits around? Still perceiving, of course.
There's lots of spirits of man just floating around, and they just seem to be doing maintenance work at the moment. And
I turn to Kula and go, ask one of these flying gentlemen where the man in charge is.
Alright, I do that.
Alright, so yeah.
Wait, can I interact with them?
You can. You're actually close enough to probably do it yourself.
I don't know standard protocol for spirits, so I kind of just walk up and go, excuse me, where's the man in charge?
So, as you approach the spirit, it's just sort of like floating along the bookshelf, and then it's like doing like magically cleaning it, stops, and it sort of turns and looks at you. It's sort of like a vague silhouette of a human, and it just like puts down its arms, and then it just sort of starts floating. It floats and comes onto the walkway / balcony where you are, and then it just starts floating forward. And I guess you follow it.
Towards or away from me? Yeah, okay, so it's got it. Okay,
yeah.
Follow it.
Yeah.
That's way, boys.
Yeah, and it starts it just starts moving, and then it goes down a flight of stairs, and it goes to like a second level downwards, and then it goes up to like a door. There's these doors like along the edge of this level, and they all just have like numbers on them, and it goes up to room 572, and it just flies straight through the wall, straight through the door.
I knock on the door.
Yeah, and you just hear a voice. Hang on, one moment. And it walks up and then opens the door, and you see. That's fine. No, that's not the one that I can find things on. This is the one I find things on. Who?
Frank. From the Railroad H.
There it is. 2 people will recognise this dude. Or at least the uniform.
This asshole.
Is that weird guy again?
Mr. Shady Mystic. This and that.
The bookkeeper.
Yeah. So somebody. It's actually not the same guy. It's a woman this time, but in the exact same uniform. She opens the door and she's like, hello. Yeah.
Another one of you. Why do the spirits send us her?
Well, I sent them to give you a warning. Basically, we're keeping an eye on you lot. Reasons. Naturally, yes. I think a couple of you have encountered one of us before. Am I correct in this assumption?
Yeah, the dog and I.
Right. Well, come and sit down here. I've sort of been expecting you for a little while now. We've had spirits watching for your astral signatures for a while. Well, the past few days. And yes, you're
Alright, kids, in the room with the creepy lady.
Alright. Yeah, and she just goes and sits down, and then she's got a couple of books on the desk, and then she's just got there's like chairs everywhere, and she just signals
Does
for.
she have a chair big enough for me?
There's a chair big enough for you in like the corner of the room. You can just pick it up and move it.
I sit in it.
Yes. Alright. So we simply go by the name as the Watchers. As you can imagine, we've been watching the state of affairs for a while, ever since the seed incident. We've emerged to this world to basically make sure it doesn't emerge again. I imagine you guys have a few questions, so I'll give you some time to ask away before the night fades, and well, you'll probably have to get out of here before that happens. I imagine.
I have a question.
Yes.
What are the chances of you seeing you naked?
Abysmal.
Come on, like.
So you sure? Can I roll for it?
You can roll for it.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, man.
That was rather good. Okay, yeah.
No, that was wrong. I did my roll wrong.
Oh, you did it wrong. Okay, yes, it was a bit. You got a +7. Why is there a +17?
Because I get 17 on my seduction.
Right.
Well,
Okay. Yeah. She laughs and she's just like, I don't think you would actually want that.
Alright, my mistake.
Yeah.
Gonna try these things today.
Yes, you lots are rather peculiar in this world. Okay, does anyone else have any actual real questions of substance?
Where are we?
Well, you're in. Where is that? That is quite an interesting question. Well, you've entered a gateway. You're in the Fae at the moment.
They're in the weirdest place.
We're in the Fae.
Yes. That is quite correct.
Your address and call me Sully. Where in the Fae, you say?
Yes, that is what I said.
Huh.
Sorry, we're where?
I thought there'd be more leprechauns.
Oh, there are some leprechauns, but I don't think you actually want to encounter them. They're kind of pricks.
You reckon if I pulled one open, he'd bring lucky charms?
The only lucky charm would be the only luck you would get from that is not getting your face torn off.
I see.
Yes, but yes, you are currently in the Fae, and as I said, you probably want to be out here before night finishes on your side of things, because then the gate closes and others come into the library, and I don't think you'll want to meet them.
Alright, quick recap question. The thing that the person in the first session from Kid and I told us not to give to the railroad, what was that again?
It was the thing from Cameron Souther. He has a book. They didn't tell you what the book was, but he has it, and they say don't give it to the railroad.
We don't have that book yet.
No, you do not.
Okay, never mind. And Cameron Souther, why is he important?
He has a unique ability to, say, bridge the gap between the living and the dead.
Are you talking necromancy or just talking with spirits?
A bit of both, to be honest.
Sounds like you're just getting high, man.
Too much deep weed. And the book. Why is the book important to you?
It's important. It will be, once it becomes common knowledge to people on your side of the world, it will become pretty much important to everybody. It will
You care to elaborate, or are you going to?
Yes, I was about to elaborate. To put it simply, it allows people to... It would allow anyone to properly communicate with the dead, and if they mastered its contents, they would be able to actually open a gateway to the land of the dead. And what that entails is pretty much up to the user of the said book.
And why do you think you're better to keep it than the railroad?
Well, for one, the railroad... Well, they would sort of... It's hard to explain, but it's foretelling. How much do you know of divination?
Little.
It's a hack.
Basically, I guess. But yes, obviously, seeing into the future, it has interesting results. I'm not particularly great at it myself, but from what I understand, the railroad would, let's just say, use it somewhat irresponsibly. I guess that would be the easiest way to explain it. Without... Yes. You're all gone very quiet.
I'm trying to think and roleplay here at the same time, and it's just not working for me.
Yeah.
And what would you use it for?
Well, simply put, we would take it from your plane, since you have a lot of people who would be interested in it, who would probably end up destroying your own world with it. So we would probably take it from there and bring it here for safekeeping.
And what's to stop you destroying your own world with it?
Well, for the fact that we were holding on to it for quite some time until the seed incident, when the unique vampire dragon came down here and took it for herself.
Sorry, the who?
I'm sorry. Did you say a vampire dragon?
Yes.
That's insane, lady. I don't think that exists.
No, do you
You,
remember the...
you're talking politics now, right?
Well, you'd think so, but it was rather one of its kind, and quite powerful, and it took quite a lot of punishment before it went down, but luckily you guys did manage to get it down on your side of the world. But it came here, made quite the mess of things and took the book. And I'm guessing it wanted to use it for its own nefarious purposes.
Would it be possible to gain immortality from this book?
Most likely, yes.
I wonder if that's what it was after.
Well, it was already probably immortal, so dragons do have that nature of, not dying.
Yes, but they could also make an army of immortal minions.
That's true. That is a possibility, I guess.
For you see, I was once in a movie. where the villain had decided to use the Book of the Dead from the Egyptians to make himself immortal. So I was just wondering if it's that sort of thing.
Well, yes, the Necronomicon. That is actually quite. That is actually what the book is.
Well, that changes things slightly.
Yes, it's appeared a couple of times in your realm and never to good results. So we'd much rather get it back.
Well, I'm convinced. What about the rest of you?
I kind of just sigh. Well, we can't leave it running around on the surface. But first, we have a mission to complete. We have supplies to deliver. Let's go, boys. Unless anyone else has questions.
How about we make a deal?
Well, you know what they say about making deals with the Fae? I'm interested.
I'm sure we can work.
I am no part of this deal. I leave.
Well, you want us to return this book, do you not?
Yes.
Well, what's to stop us from getting something in return?
What did you have in mind?
Bad idea!
Will you guys be quiet? I'm trying to make a deal.
That's what we're saying.
I didn't expect this. I'm gonna think of something. Right.
Well, I'm sure you might have realised by now, but I am actually a vampire.
Yes, I wasn't aware of this. This is news to me.
I don't think I'm telling the truth now. Come on, we're both adults here.
Right, yes, what did you want in return?
I want to be undetectable as a vampire. I don't want to not be a vampire, but I want to be undetectable as a vampire.
I'm sure that could be arranged rather easily, yes.
And I don't want any funny business where you decide to make it so that I'm actually just completely unseeable to everybody and everyone. That's what I was talking about.
Alright, so you want to be undetectable as a vampire, but you don't want to be rendered permanently invisible.
That's one of my conditions. I'm sure there are more.
Well, you better come up with the conditions now.
How about we get this on paper?
Alright, and she just clicks her finger, and like a spirit walks in and just scrolls out a piece of paper, and it just starts writes down your current conditions. In return for bringing the book, you'll be undetectable as a vampire, but not rendered completely invisible in general.
And also not killed.
Not killed. Okay, so you'll be alive. Maybe.
Yeah, I'll be alive.
You'll be not killed. You'll be not killed.
Yeah, I'll be not killed.
Yes.
Transported some weird timeline.
I also want to not be thrown into the future or into the past where humans don't exist.
Okay, not transported through time.
Don't forget buried!
Yeah, I don't want to be transported to space either.
Okay.
Guys, stop giving him ideas of what not to have. I want this to be twisted on him so badly.
So.
I want to not think of something so that we can then tell Liam, hey, he didn't say this.
Can I make a roll to see if the contract is going to be favourable towards me?
Good luck.
Hang on, I've got to write everything.
Roll skill or wearing.
Still visible.
Skill or knowledge?
Hang on, I'm not killed, or not killed. No time travel. Not transported through space. Said through.
You have a contact with a lawyer. I think you're gonna need one.
Okay, sorry, space. You don't have time for a lawyer. All right. Is that all?
I also want to keep my free will.
Ah.
We got him. You always forget that one.
All right.
I think that's about it. Anybody else got any suggestions?
For okay.
I've got a suggestion that you walk away now before this becomes official.
All right. So if that's your side of the deal, we'll get you just the sign right here.
Hold on. I want to hear what you've got.
Strange. Hang on. I have to figure out myself.
I like it. So sign here on the contract before we determine the reward.
For book. All right. So you simply want to become undetected as a vampire. You want to remain still visible. You don't want to be killed. You don't want to be time traveled. No, to not be time traveled. To not be time traveled. Not transported through space, and you wish to keep free will in exchange for the book.
Yes.
That sounds reasonable enough, I guess.
Oof, nice. Oh man.
Okay.
I need to just give you an umbrella.
Excellent. Yes, yeah, that sounds fine by us. We're just going to give you this, but we won't give you that anymore. She pulls out like something very quickly and then puts it back into her pocket.
Oh, you son of a...
No, it's probably meaningless.
I just want to be 100% clear that he doesn't speak for us.
No, this is purely
That is quite true.
This is his reward. I have no part in this deal.
Like, I'm not signing no contract. Like fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have it delivered to me.
You do. You still have some time for that, though. Well, we're going to give you this anyway, and she pulls out another thing that looks exactly like the other thing, but it's not the same thing. This will help you with your task anyway, and she passes this to somebody who is not Vincent.
I'll take it.
You take it. It's, as you look at it, it just looks like a whistle.
Is it a red whistle?
Hey!
This is a one-time use. Use it well.
Is this the same whistle that my old character got?
Yes.
What does it do?
It's similar to that whistle. This one, it's exactly the same like design, where it's like just like a long sort of tube with like leaf work on it. But this one seems to be made out of some glass-like material. But despite that, it still seems rather tough.
Not to sound ungrateful, but what is this?
Well, that would be spoiling the fun if I told you exactly what it is, but it's a whistle, and it summons something very useful to you.
Proceeds to blow it, just to see if it blows.
It's only got a one use, though. And
Why does it explode?
Hold on to it till we need it. Got it.
Yes.
No,
Because you fuckers never used it last campaign. You used it right at the end when I told you what it did.
Well, that's gonna be like 13
Hey,
Yeah.
I remember that. That was awesome.
That's because, like, you know, we want to keep it until the last moment.
I was gonna say, this is like in a video game where you get a really good item, you don't use it when you're in a bad situation because you might get in a worse situation. This is exactly that.
Yes. And if you use this, you have to bring us the book. That's the one condition for it.
Guess we're not using it.
By the way, I'm out of character for this, so this is. We haven't been given any time limits.
What was that, sorry?
We haven't been given any time limits.
No, you got no time limit.
Let's just get the book.
So we just have to do it. That's all.
So we'd like pass the book around and like get the end of it to the back.
We can read it a couple of times first.
Yeah. Yeah, so you technically did not give you a time limit. This is true.
Fantastic.
Watch the words. He said technically.
Like in the moment.
We're talking about contracts here. Technical victories are still victories.
See, technically you signed a good contract. Technically.
Alright.
I haven't signed it yet, by the way.
Alright, so
Pretty sure they're-
she looks at you and goes, okay, you probably want to get back to the surface now.
Yes, we do. Let's be gone.
Oh,
Let me just give the facts once over. Can I I want to make a roll
okay.
to see if there's something that I've missed on the contract.
Fine for it.
Alright. Yep, do that. Okay. No, it literally just seems to be like 2 lines. It's literally, in return for bringing us back the book, the Necronomicon, Vincent Rice will become undetectable as a vampire. He will not be killed. He will remain visible. He will not be travelled back or forth in time. He will not be transported for space, and he will keep his free will.
Can I also write nothing bad will happen to me?
No.
Oh. But I'm not signing this shit.
Alright. It's literally you just come with all the terms and you're like, okay, I'm not doing it now. It makes sense.
Sorry.
I love how you literally just came up with all the terms and you're like, okay, I'm not doing it now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Pretty much.
She just shrugs and is like, okay. Well, off you guys go then.
It's because he's afraid that he missed something, and so he doesn't want to risk it.
Yeah, no, I would have sat there and figured out something to fuck him over with.
I've thought of like 6 things already.
Yeah, I know. I thought of a few things anyway.
There is literally no way to get out of this on top. Contract with the Fae. They are designed to dick you over. Like with all those conditions, they could make you a brick of lead. A sentient brick of lead.
See, that's why I didn't sign it, because I said I wanted to say nothing bad will happen and it wasn't allowed.
Alright, hang on.
See, bad is a perspective, though.
That's true. Yeah, they'll allow it. Nothing bad will happen.
No.
Okay, and I'll say didn't sign. Alright, well. So you didn't sign the contract. Up you go. So, yeah, you just go out the way you came, I guess.
Yep.
It's been fun to you too.
And you too, strange little man.
Little.
You're shorter than her. Alright,
As we turn to leave, I go, out of curiosity, what is under the helmet?
How do I? She just like cocks her head to the side and goes, "Oh, you guys are so full of questions. Maybe you'll find out some other time."
I just kind of shrug. Hey, in there, secrets. And turn around and walk away.
Yeah. Excellent. So, that's that part of the engagement over. So yeah, you just leave. You get in the vehicle, and what felt like only like half an hour down there turned out to be about 5 hours, and you've only got like 2 hours until dawn.
Oh boy.
All right, in the car, we gotta hide.
Oh, okay.
Good thing I brought my sunglasses.
Navigation check. Will we make it in time if we just
Punch it.
just floor it?
Can I do an area knowledge on a shortcut?
I'll get the area knowledge first. No, you don't know of any shortcuts here.
Oh, okay. But I'm all out of ideas.
And yeah, do you want to give me a navigation check?
So who's navigating? Me.
Kit, because he's the one driving.
I sure as I ain't.
I'm sure anyone can.
Oh, anybody
Well,
could use backseat driving then. Yeah,
I was
just do that.
passing.
Okay, so two,
Do you want us to all roll?
if you want to.
Why not?
One. And we haven't had any glitches yet, have we? Not. Okay. Yeah, so Cooler's not rolling. Okay. Is Peter actually still there?
Oh yeah.
You are there. Okay, so yes. Excellent. You're not sure. You may be able to do it, but you're not sure if you can.
I guess we'll just think for the day.
Just want to sit here, Peter.
Find a shelter. Find shelter for a day.
Yeah. So yeah, you just pull out. I guess you start driving, sort of roughly in the right direction. And you just keep your eyes out, and eventually you find a garage which is currently open that you think you could drive into, and then sort of set up your tarpaulin so you guys don't burn to death in the sun.
Alright. Yep.
All right, so yeah, you set up for the day. You guys can give me. Is anyone still hurt?
Yep.
Yep. Give me your body plus willpower to heal.
Hold on.
Two successes.
So you each heal 2 damage. And it always goes body before shock. Stun. That's it. Physical before stun. All right.
Two. Let's go. About the garage cover. How does it work? Is it
So
finding one?
it's like a proper like a garage. You drive into it, you close the garage behind you, and then there's just a window in the side of how they have it in there, and you just tarpaulin has a curtain. You're like, sweet, now it's dark.
Can I lock it? Does that have a lock?
Yep, you could lock it. They'll lock the garage.
Yeah, I'll lock it with my combination lock.
Yep. All right. So yeah, so you've locked the door, set up a thing around the thing. There are still gaps around under the door and the garage door where there's a little bit of light coming through. But if you guys all decide you're gonna sleep in the vehicle, you'll be fine. All right, so yeah, so you set up for the night.
I'm gonna sleep in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep in the corner.
Okay. So you're.
I'm going to use my rope to block the light.
All right, fair enough. Yep, you put a rope around the edge to block the light coming through.
Yeah.
Excellent idea. Yep, so you do that. And
So now I can get out and stretch.
yep. All right, there's not really anything soft here to sleep on. You're just going to be sleeping on the hard floor or in the car. Cool. So yeah, you all sleep. The 2 people you need to heal points up both heal their 2 damage each. And yeah, you sleep the day away, and then yeah, you get up at night again, and it's just about making the rest of the way there.
which one do you guys eat it in a way, or just eat then go?
I guess you can just eat it.
There's nothing for me to eat apart from like the rations.
That is what you're going to eat, yes.
Well, I mean, like essence-wise, I can't get anything back.
Well, you don't have any. You don't have any. You haven't lost any essence
Oh,
yet.
we haven't lost any essence, right?
Not yet.
Sorry.
Oh, I'll just grab a elf turkey, I guess.
Yeah. So you go and eat some elf. Excellent. Okay, so you guys go and eat something, drink your blood, and you get in the car and you make your way back. As you make your way back, you go down, and as you approach that four-way intersection, you just notice that the entire street is just coated in a layer of blood. And it's gone up the buildings.
We slipped through this?
No. This is where the spirits were telling you not to go.
Oh, okay.
So you drive out. You go continuing your way back. You get to that four-way intersection where the trade happened. Yeah, the entire street, the walls, and that strange orb thing in the sky are all just coated in one layer of blood. Or just a layer of blood. It's just like somebody just literally just went along with a paintbrush full of blood and then just like painted everything. Everything's just...
It'd make a great album cover.
Yeah, and you notice massive like holes in the ground as well. Just like, but they're like, it's not like craters. It's like somebody dug a hole and they just dug heaps, and that they seem to be filled with blood as well.
Oh, wait. So you mean borrowing holes?
Like burrowing holes, yeah.
Damn.
I guess.
Driver, there's some rather large potholes.
Actually perceive, is there anything there?
Yeah, so give me a sensing test then.
I think it was 6.
I'm gonna do a perception for anything
Yeah.
So in
interesting. Let's see.
normal perception. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kaldor, can you give me a what's the test? It is a Somebody else just rolled something. 5 successes. Apart from this rather horrifically strange sight, you don't see really anything like anything else. Like it's just it's just a nasty. Okay. Everything's coated in blood. For astral perception though, where is the... Somebody must be marked as made. Okay, whatever. That's fine. That's fine. Here we go. This is what I want. What the fuck is it? Give me a composure roll. That's it.
What?
Get a composure. So your willpower plus your charisma. 3 successes. Okay. So as you start actually perceiving, you basically see the incarnation of misery, and you have to quickly stop actually perceiving and sort of steel yourself and just be like, you don't know how to describe it, but if horror and dread and everything bad had a form, you just saw it.
We're leaving now. Turn around.
Well, keep on going forward.
Floor it.
Yeah, you just floor it through. Yeah, so you get through that.
Through the incarnation of misery and torment.
Yeah, everybody can sort of feel this. You didn't. It sort of you saw what you saw was really the echo of whatever happened here, and it wasn't nice. It definitely left the scar on the area.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll go through, and since you're all dual natured, you sort of feel it as well, and it's just a general.
Sorry, you cut up there. What was that?
Since you're all dual natured, you all technically also exist on the astral plane as well as the physical plane. at the same time. So as you pass through, you all start feeling the sort of oppressing weight on your chest. And it's genuinely just very, very unpleasant, and you just want to get out of here as soon as possible.
Oh. Why do I suddenly feel so depressed?
Yeah, so you go through, and then
myself.
and once you're out, the feeling starts disappearing, and you continue your way. You travel for about half the night, and then you get back. You have to get out a few times just to move vehicles out the way. By get out, Calvin just gets out and then just punches the vehicle and it goes flying. And eventually, eventually you manage to make your way back. You move all the obstacles out of your way, and you sort of just pull up, and you're just like, Sarah walks out with Snips, and they're just like, "Oh, you guys actually made it back! Fantastic!" It walks over and it's just like, "Good, what you managed to get? More food, some supplies. Excellent, excellent. Well, come on in. We'll do some classic cooking this side of the world, and we'll get this all ready for you. And we might as well sit down and eat and relax and not suck anymore." And she seems rather something seems to be distressing her, but she's sort of just wanting to get everything in and be done with it, whatever it is. And yeah.
Alright, I go and just pick up as much as I can.
Yep, so yeah, you just
initiate protocol Minotaur shopping trolley.
Yeah, so you literally just pick up the massive freezer full of food and just walk that on in, and she just points to take it over to where the other food is and just walk it in, and you just like put it on the floor and it's like, "Oh, there's a plug there," and you just plug the freezer into this wall. And you're like, "Sweet, done." And then everyone else just can bring in the other stuff, or the ammo, and so on and so forth. And somebody
I approach Sarah afterwards and go, "Sarah, what bothers you?"
Well, it turns out that, apparently, I guess you know that the HQ went down, and that was horrible. But it turns out a few more of our outposts have been annihilated, and it turns out my fiance is dead, and I don't really want it.
My condolences.
Yes,
I apologize for asking.
It's all right. It's all right. She starts tearing up a bit. She's like, "It's all right," and I just want to be alone for a bit. That's all right.
Understandable, please.
Yeah, and then she just...
I kind of just motion to let her go, and I go and talk to the other guys.
Yeah, sweet as. Yeah, so yeah, as she walks off, she starts crying, and then she just sort of goes into a side room and then just disappears for the rest of the night. Yeah, so Snips and... I can't even remember what the other lady's name is. It's been so long. Snips and... Elisa, that's the other one. Yeah, so Elisa's sitting there. She's just plugged into the Matrix, as she normally is. And, yeah.
This is a dwarf, eh?
Yes, he is a dwarf. Yep, so what did you want to say to them, I guess?
As we sit down. So I hear the railroad's a bit more dire circumstance left.
Yes, yes, it seems so. As you know, as you got a lot know, the HQ's been rather fucked over. Quite a few of our outposts have been destroyed, it turns out. I'm surprised they even gave you this much resources from what I've heard. And
they were in a dire strait, however, it was what they could spare.
Snips is like... Snips sits up. As soon as you say there's not much use for it, Snips goes up and says, What do you mean by that?
Well, there was only one guy there.
There was more than one guy there.
There was.
Yeah.
There's a few. We interacted with one guy.
You interacted with two guys, I think. You interacted with the doctor and you interacted with the de facto leader of the place.
Only one guy worth talking.
Yeah, basically. There's only 2 guys I could be bothered naming, and one guy was the guy you basically talked to the whole time. As you go. Yep. So yeah.
They were already fucked up when we got there.
Yes, yes, I'm quite aware they were quite fucked up, but I'm certain they could have used this better for themselves. But oh well.
No, if they had stayed there, it would have all been lost.
So what?
If it had all stayed there, it would have all been lost, and you'd have none of it now.
What do you mean it would have all been lost?
There's absolutely no way they would have been able to get hold of it.
Well, what do you mean they couldn't keep hold of it? I thought they all got out. Well, most of them, or some of them, I guess.
They wouldn't have been able to carry it with them.
Carry it where? I thought they were fine where they currently were.
Okay.
He seems rather confused by everything you're saying. And Snips just sits back and he's just like, fuck it, and he just keeps on just eating the bones he's eating. Yeah, and then Elisa's sitting there and goes, well, I guess we'll have to rebuild now, but I don't know if we'll be even able to do it.
Well, tell me, where did the railroad come from to start with?
Well, the railroad's actually sort of been here for a while. I mean, this zone has been... It started growing quite a few years ago once the incident where where dragon thing got destroyed, and then the area sort of became uninhabitable to people who were not like us. And we were around before that, but we were nowhere near as prominent. Sarah down there was one of the more early members. Yeah, we sort of built up over time, but with the entire leadership dead, it's going to take a while to rebuild. And with all the new factions running around, we sort of lost our purpose, really.
Well then, I suggest you find yourself your new purpose. Every organization, every group, every leader has always started with something, and you can start with your own.
Good idea. I guess we could go independent or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out, though. It's not... For now, we can just rest, I say. Alright, well... Dawn seems to be coming, so I guess it's time for us to all relax and go to bed again and so on and so forth. Well,
I literally just lie down exactly where I am and go to sleep.
Yeah, okay. So you do that.
I don't try and find a bed, I just lie down. Either if I'm in a chair on the ground in front of the chair, or if I'm on the couch, I lie on the couch.
Yeah. Alright, you're basically sitting on a couch, so you sit down, go to bed, and everyone else can go to wherever.
I was on the coffin last time, wasn't I?
Yes, you were.
What you do is you stick me near the hallway and I'll just be the nightlight.
At the moment, you're sort of serving as a fridge light, because you're just sort of sitting in the room where everyone eats and so on, but that also has like the fridges and so on. So yeah, at the moment you're a fridge light. There we go.
I can live with that.
Yeah. So everyone else, they take you down. They've cleared out one of the storage rooms downstairs, so you can actually all sort of sleep in there. They've got some stretchers on the ground and so on for you guys. So you guys can all just go in there, apart from Caldor, who's just sleeping on the couch. And yeah.
I'll have to go find. I want to find my coffin.
Okay. You find your coffin, and you jump in it and go to sleep, and everyone thinks you're weird, but very well.
So I'm a schizophrenic elf who thinks is enough.
Come on, Krula, cuddle with me. You can be the little spoon.
I go and be Little Spoon.
Okay.
Yes.
You're barely on the couch. At some time during the day, Kaldor moves slightly and you just fall off and land on the floor.
I'm a very heavy sleeper. I don't even wake up. I wake up when someone else wakes me up. I'm just on the floor. I'm like, how did I get down here?
Excellent. So yeah, it wakes up, and everybody who this is relevant to, you have lost a point of essence now.
Where do we put that? It's under drain air.
Yes.
Wait, since we slept again, do we like heal?
Yes, you heal again. Sorry. Yeah, anybody with heal, you can do your heal test.
Where do you put it? It's quality, is it? Negative quality?
No, it's actually not. You have to do it rather annoyingly. You have to go over to cyberware, and then you just go to add a cyberware, and then
essence hole.
yeah, and then you
I've already got one essence hole, so it's another one.
basically just change the value of it. Change it so your essence should be on 5 now. Whatever essence is, it should go down to 5.
Oh, my essence is 5.
Oh, okay. We must have done this for some reason. I don't know why, but
So I'll just leave
yeah,
it?
just leave it. It should be 5 now for everyone who it's relevant to.
So,
Aren't you supposed to start with 5?
Were you?
I have essence hole 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, well, it should be 5, whatever it is. I think the reason you have 5 is because the strain 2s and 3s, I think, just have 5 anyway, whereas the others get 6, but then they lose 1 each week.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so you should have an essence hole 1, and then once that's after you get up in the morning, Elisa sort of gets you all together. She chucks you your snacks. She sits down and goes, right, so I imagine most of you guys have, this is your first full week of being an infected member of society. And I'm gathering you have all sort of felt that growing hole inside you. Basically, over time, we leak essence, so we sort of have to do something about that. Except for you two, and she points at Snips and Woodsy. You two are fine. But the rest of us, tonight I'm going to take you hunting. Alright.
I stand up, crack my knuckles. Hunting. Now this is what I came for.
Alright, yeah, and then we're going to call that an episode there. If you enjoyed, remember to like...
Before we go, I give her the USB.
Ah, right, yes, the USB. Takes it and goes...
In the morning.
Yeah.
I was letting her have her grief, and then in the morning I gave her the USB.
Okay, yeah. So you went and found Sarah, gave her the USB, and then Elisa during the morning she gets you guys all ready, and she's like, okay, yep, we're going hunting and blah blah blah. But yeah, so yeah, we'll end it there. If you enjoyed, remember to like, subscribe, share, and so on and so forth. And we'll see you all again next time, whenever the hell that is. All right.
Sounds good.